Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the world of the Watcher. It is the 26th episode, 2013. We are in September. We will finish off the calendar year 2013 in this episode. Some big fights on the docket. Let's get straight into it. First bit of news here is a Bruno Guimas fight. Booked to face Ben Rothwell at Strikeforce. Rothwell versus Guimas 2. That'll be in November, so will take place in this episode, and it will be for the Strikeforce Heavyweight Championship. Ben Rothwell is the big favorite, but Bruno Guimas did win the first fight in Cage, King of the Cage, 7 years ago. So that will be an excellent fight, a rematch there. Bruno Guimas trying to take some championship gold one more time. With Ben Rothwell to make the first defense. We got a title fight later on in this episode. That should be excellent. Alright, it is time for the first fight on tonight's card. It is going to be an undercard of UFC 118, where Machado McGregor faces off with Anthony Gomez. UFC 118 is airing from... I have no idea. Whoops. Anyway, Machado McGregor versus Anthony Gomez. Machado a 7-1 record. That one loss coming against LeVar Johnson. This is his UFC debut. Anthony Gomez, 8 years older, currently holding a 6-5 professional record with no wins in a real promotion, and no wins in the UFC, where he is making his debut as well. I have no idea why UFC hired him. Let's assume it's as fodder for Machado McGregor. Making his UFC debut at a -880 favorite. Kickboxing versus wrestling jiu-jitsu. Let's get straight into it. Referee John McCarthy taking charge of this one. We begin the fight. Two fighters touching gloves now. McGregor moving closer, looking to throw some strikes. Gomez dodges a leg kick. There's two men pounding. Gomez tries to get closer. McGregor right cross. Nice jab and a roundhouse kick. Left hand into right cross lands hard. McGregor landing all the shots here. Gomez isn't hitting anything. Jab and now another right cross lands hard. McGregor talking some trash. Vicious right cross. Gomez is down. Machado going for the ground and pound now. Granting some great shots. And the referee has to step in. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner by TKO, Machado McGregor. 3 minutes and 10 seconds into round number 1. He finishes Anthony Gomez. Moving to 8-1 in his professional career and capping off his UFC debut with a victory. Congratulations to Machado McGregor. Some unfortunate news here. Bobby Braxton has sustained chronic shoulder pain during training and has withdrawn from his fight against Antonio Silva. So the K1 Heroes champion going to be out of action for just 42 days, but that was enough to call the fight off. He will hold on to the K1 Heroes Heavyweight Championship, but will not make his first defense like against Antonio Silva like was planned. We'll have to see what gets rebooked for him. Fight number 2 on the docket for this episode. Alex O'Reilly will be facing off against Konstantin Gluhov. Gluhov, not the first time we've seen him. In fact, Alex O'Reilly had beat him before in April 2007. Nearly over 6 years ago, 6.5 years ago. The rematch comes to you tonight, courtesy of UFC 119. Alex the Maverick O'Reilly facing off with Konstantin Gluhov in the UFC heavyweight division. O'Reilly, 17-4 fighter, coming off a win against Rex Richards, whoever that is, and holding a fairly strong record in UFC overall. Only 3 losses and 8 wins, it looks like, at first glance. Gluhov, not quite as strong, 14-4 record. This is his second fight, having beaten Alexei Oleinik in his UFC debut. He lost to Alex O'Reilly way back when he was a 3-0 fighter. So these two men have gone an entire career, but here they are fighting each other once more. O'Reilly, a colossal favorite in the co-main event of this pay-per-view. Let's get straight into it. Referee John McCarthy taking charge of this one. Second appearance tonight. Gluhov hits a body kick. O'Reilly manages to grab him, though. Trying to muscle him up against the cage. Gluhov stuck with his back against the cage. O'Reilly absolutely wearing him down. Using the cage to his advantage. Drops down for a takedown now. Gets straight into side control. Trying for an arm triangle there. Gets it completely applied, and Gluhov has to tap out. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner after 2 minutes and 39 seconds of round number 1. Alex the Maverick O'Reilly wins again. Going 2-0 over Konstantin Gluhov and boosts his overall record to 18-4. Proving his 1,200 favorite status was certainly not a fluke. Congratulations to Alex O'Reilly. Here's some news for you. We got some fights booked. We got George Joe booked to face Tony Johnson at Bellator 43. McDonough versus Sexy Yama. Sure. Why not? For the welterweight title. Be on the undercard there. Where are they? Here we go. Tony Johnson versus George Joe, which is a crazy place to put the 14th ranked world heavyweight. But sure, George Joe, colossal favorite against the 5-3 fellow. Also, Eric Fonga has been booked to face Ruben Villarreal at American Large Local Show. Villarreal has a losing record and is 43 years old. Hasn't won since 2010, and you can roughly expect how that's going to go for Eric Fonga, who is, trying to figure himself out after 4 consecutive losses in Pride, ended his career there. Hopefully a decent bounce back for Fonga. That will be in November, and the George Joe fight will be in December, so we'll get both of those in on this episode. Looking forward to it. Alright, we are in Kinky for K1 Heroes 51, headlined by Heath Herring versus Kazuyuki Fujita. Herring, I think the former heavyweight champion of K1 Heroes. Yeah, lost it to Bobby Braxton after a long, long reign. But on the undercard, we got Thiago Big Monster versus Grease Kunez. Thiago Big Monster versus the Onion Grease Kunez. Kunez is a moderate underdog in his 4-1 record. Thiago Big Monster a 10-3 favorite on this one, coming off a loss to Czech Congo, but 2 wins before that. Grease Kunez coming off a loss to Gabriel Gonzaga in his second K1 Heroes fight. 1-1 record in K1 Heroes so far. 10-minute first round, Muay Thai Jiu-Jitsu versus Muay Thai BJJ. We'll say it's fairly evenly matched here. Fight is going toe-to-toe to start with. Big Monster going for that takedown. Kunez scores the right to the body, though. Neither fighter manages to find the target there. Kunez misses some strikes. Big Monster can't hit him, though. Kunez has great head movement. Nothing doing much so far. Kunez with the jab. Can't land those big killer blows, but he's definitely hitting those jabs. Monster's missing him. Nice straight right from Kunez there. Engaging in the center. Kick to the leg from Kunez. Trying to chop down the 265-pound Big Monster. Right hook from Kunez now. Definitely landing more accurately. Big Monster pressuring. 2 counter jabs, and Big Monster can't hit, to be honest. There we go. Shoots in for a takedown, though. Kunez sprawls accurately, and 5 minutes are gone. Straight right from Kunez. Breathing a little heavier there, but definitely landing way more. Kunez lands a left jab, but misses. Quick jab there. Thiago Big Monster definitely looking for a takedown, but can't quite get it. Grabs him into a clinch now. Might go for it there. Knee strike to the body. Couple knee strikes here. Trying to pin him up against the ropes. Kunez now pinned against the ropes. Now Big Monster going for that takedown. Gets on to top of Kunez. Now in half guard. Big Monster throwing a few rights there, but really mostly just trying to rest. 60 seconds left in the round. Kunez trying to scramble at the underhook. Under side control now. Big Monster can't do too much damage from on top. Besides the ground strikes, a very good round from Kunez. We'll have to see. It'll be a close one on the scorecards for sure. Last round. 5 more minutes to decide the winner of this fight. Kunez scores the leg kick. Big Monster starting to tire. Nice shot from Kunez, though. Lands right in the button. Big Monster going for the takedown. Kunez in guard now. This could be bad for his scoring potential. Though he goes for that arm from the bottom. Big Monster won't let it happen, but definitely wary for the submission threat there. And he gets it! Kunez grabs the armbar from the bottom. Look at that. So he tries for that arm. Can't quite get it. Big Monster pulls his arm back. Throws a punch to the body. And one of those punches, Kunez times it perfectly. Snags the arm. Locks it out the elbow. And forces the tap. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner by submission at 3 minutes, 5 seconds in round number 2. Grease Kunez. Congratulations, Grease. Moving to 5-1. Taking down a big threat. And proving that he absolutely belongs in this K1 Heroes roster. Congratulations, Grease. A little bit of news coming out of the weekend. Alex O'Reilly has been booked to face Cain Velasquez at UFC 124. That'll be in January next time, but that is for the heavyweight championship. Again, Alex O'Reilly gets to avenge a loss from last December. A little over a year between the fights, but he dispatched the 2 opponents they gave him. And yeah, I mean, interesting. He lost via decision last time. But maybe he's been training differently. The fight is considered even odds. Cain 14-0. Of course, the UFC heavyweight champion. Last fight was not a title fight. This will be a 5-round title fight. That's going to be insane, to be honest. That's going to be so good. Alex O'Reilly headlining a pay-per-view. Grease Kunez has come to the end of his K1 Heroes contract and entered the renegotiation period. So we'll see if he resigns. Alright, a little bit of news. We got an Earl Mo fight on the horizon, and even though Pride offered Grease Coon as a contract, he actually decided to extend with K1 Heroes. So maybe looking to build up his skills a little more before he jumps to the number one fight promotion in the world, which is fair considering the fighters they've got on their roster. Yeah. So he's extended, but Earl Mo is facing Brad Imes at Strikeforce Lima versus Larson 3. That will be on this episode. Brad Imes tied to Ivasa, Gilbert Yvel. Got a few names on his resume there. Lost to Junior Dos Santos. Lost to Earl Mo way back when he was an undefeated fighter in 2006. So he will be facing Earl Mo. Oh, that will be their second fight then. Interesting. Mo won last time by unanimous decision and is considered the favorite on this one as well. But now you know. He's booked. And we've got another fight. Tuesday of November. Eric Fonga versus Ruben Villarreal. Headlined by Chuck Liddell versus a local fighter. What's Chuck up to? 22-9. Losing more than he wins. Did get a title shot against Forrest Griffin somehow. Sure. Anyway, let's get to the fight after we simulate all the other fights on this extremely long card. There we go. Alright, Black Power Eric Fonga facing off with Ruben Warpath Villarreal. Fonga a 1,170 favorite. Let's just get straight into it. Villarreal 9 wins, 6 losses, 1 draw, and 1 no contest in his career. Fonga 10-7. And oh my gosh! Villarreal just knocked him down. Villarreal's pasting him. Is this real? Okay, Fonga's cooked. I don't know what to tell you. 1,170 favorite. I thought I read it wrong. He just lost in 37 seconds. The touch gloves. Fight starts. Fonga goes for a leg kick, drops his chin for a second, takes a right cross, drops, and then gets ground and pounded. Oh boy. This is not going to go over well. Ruben Warpath Villarreal improves to 10-16, 1 draw and 1 no contest, while Eric Fonga drops to 10-8. Oof. Good news. Bobby Braxton's chronic shoulder pain has gotten better. We're really happy for him. And yep, as you remember, Fonga lost his 5th consecutive fight. Yay. Let's get to some title fight action. We are in Texas, Austin, Texas to be exact. Ben Rothwell and Bruno Guimas face off for the second time in their storied careers. Bruno Guimas won the first matchup, but Rothwell holds the gold tonight. Will it go the same way as last time, or will Rothwell hold on to his treasure? It's time to find out. Across 5 rounds, Rothwell a -660 favorite. Guimas a 520 underdog, 14-4 from Portugal. On a 5-fight winning streak, including taking the Elite XC Championship. He left that one behind when he jumped ship to Strikeforce, but will it take him just 2 fights to go ahead and pick up some gold here as well? Or Rothwell on a 2-fight winning streak as well, including defeating Gilbert Yvel and taking the title off Junior Dos Santos. He's also a former Strikeforce heavyweight champion before losing it a while ago. He would win the trilogy with Junior Dos Santos. Don't see that much. Anyhow, let's get into the fight, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, this is a Strikeforce heavyweight championship fight. Let's get going. It's booked for 5 rounds. I don't think it'll take that many. And the bell rings. 2 fighters touching gloves now. Toe-to-toe. Starting to strike. Just in the middle. Takes a right hook. Rothwell's hurt. He tries to smile to shake it off, but he's definitely hurt. Rothwell with a counter jab now. Guimas tries for that right head kick that probably would have ended it immediately, but can't get him. Guimas with the left jab. Misses a big counter, though. Guimas kick to the lead leg. Misses a pair of jabs, lands a low kick. Rothwell with the right hook, though. Both guys fighting their hearts out here. Rothwell misses with the right hand. Bobs and weaves past 2 strikes from Guimas. Brief exchange of fire, though. Nobody landing. Rothwell misses with the right. Guimas Guimas maybe trying to wrestle here, avoids it, grabs a hold of Rothwell, who didn't land a shot on him. Tries to pin him up against the cage, but Rothwell doesn't let it happen. Gets side control off a supreme outside leg trick. Gets mounted on Guimas. 41 seconds left. Tries for an armbar. Gets it fully applied, and the round is over. Ooh. That fight probably goes to Rothwell on my card, just because of that takedown and that ground pass, especially ending the round in the armbar. It looks good in the scorecards. Giving that round to Rothwell. Hard to see a scenario where Guimas could take this fight. I don't know if I believe that, but we'll see what happens. Guimas trying to wrestle now. Big right hand from Rothwell. Two trying to strike. Rothwell has a good guard. Guimas bobs and weaves, though. Right cross lands hard for Rothwell. Getting a little more momentum now into the second round. Nice straight right from Rothwell. Rothwell conserving energy a little bit. See if Guimas has the movement to get him going. Walking him down now. Rothwell with a pair of jabs. Guimas with the land 1-2. It misses both. Rothwell lends the left hand. He's backing away, but he's landing those shots as he's backing away. Not good for Bruno. Guimas just getting into the gas tank a little bit. Definitely the fresher man. Roundhouse kick to the body for Rothwell. That had to hurt. I mean, this is heavyweight fighting. Anything can end at any point. Guimas willing to take a few shots if he can wrestle. Rothwell lands a right hand, but Guimas grabs him anyway. Tries to pin him up against the cage. Rothwell out-wrestles him, though, and he's going for that trip takedown again. It didn't the same way. Gets side control. Rothwell attempting to get into mount. Can't do it. Rothwell trying for that armbar. It's locked in, but wow. 2 rounds absolutely dominated by Bruno Guimas on the feet, more or less. And then he tries to go put him against the cage, gets that trip takedown, and Rothwell ends both rounds with an armbar on top. Rothwell now up 2-0 on most cards. Exchange of strikes doesn't produce any damage, but Guimas has got to be careful. One of those armbars is going to happen before the bell. Or maybe it's a timing thing, who knows. Guimas coming with a low kick. Neither fighter can land a knockout strike. Rothwell trying to relax himself a little bit as they enter, getting close to the halfway point of the fight now. Guimas is definitely getting a little more tired. Both of them trying to clinch now. We're only halfway through the fight. Rothwell getting the takedown, though. Guimas gets half guard. 2 minutes left in the round. Rothwell tries to pass. Right straight in a mount. Goes for the armbar. Gets it locked in, and Guimas has to tap. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner by submission. 4 minutes, 26 seconds into round number 3. Big Ben Rothwell. There's no two ways about it. Rothwell learned more since their last encounter. And absolutely, the guard of Guimas did not hold up whatsoever. Rothwell passed into mount 3 times, landed the armbar 3 times. Guimas was saved by the bell twice, but third time is the charm. Congratulations to Big Ben Rothwell, moving to 30-10 in his career. The one Bruno Guimas drops to 14-5. Tad bit of news, actually a decent amount. Ron Francis Jr. has been booked to fight in the Pride Heavyweight Grand Prix. At Pride 87, he will face Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira. You know what I mean. Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira in the first round, and if he wins, he's got more fights. Brad Morris, Carol Bidorf, Marcos Rogero de Lima, John Madsen, Garam Kuganishvili versus Jared Ross Holt, the other members of the tournament. Some prelims or whatever, but I mean, that's cool. A Grand Prix could be 3 fights in one night for our boy Ron Francis Jr. Now, honestly, I feel like the hardest fight's in the first round. He's already beat Rogero de Lima. Jeez, it's hard to talk. This could be a good night for our boy. We'll see what happens. Pride 87 will take place in December, so that will be on this card. Very impressive. So we'll see what happens. Oh, also Jack Duplessis got a fight. He'll be facing Kenny Gardner, 4-2-1 with 4-2 and 1 no contest fighter. His opponent failed a drug test after choking him out. So congratulations on getting that overturned to no contest, I suppose. And my condolences for being booked to face Jack Duplessis, also at 14-4 in his career, coming off a stint on the Indies, and is now in America, Bellator for the first time. So, a very Bellator fight. A little bit more news. Anderson has extended his contract with the UFC, despite holding a 9-8 record. And going 1-1 UFC, they've decided to keep him on at least for a few more fights. Tiny bit of news here. Grease Kunis has joined the Golden Glory team to train. The coach is Bas Boone. Also Czech Congo, Gerard Musa. I don't know how to pronounce that. Are also high-ranked members. So some decent fellas there. Grease on an upswing in his career with K1 Heroes, and hopefully this training will help him out. All right, we are in Texas for Bellator 43, McDonough versus Sexyama, but we're here for deep on the undercard for Tony the Hulk Johnson versus George the Gentleman Joe. Hulk Johnson, a 5-3 underdog versus the 15-2 record of George Joe. George, having a rougher patch, 2 unsuccessful title shots at Josh Barnett. But, not beating Josh Barnett if that's a mark in your career, then there aren't very many great heavyweights out there. Tony Johnson, 5-3. Let's get started, shall we? Fight begins here. Start with the touch gloves. Johnson tries to shoot in on Joe. Joe sprawls, preventing the takedown, moves out of range. Joe with a left hand and a right hook. Huge reach advantage for George Joe. Confidently stepping into the pocket now. Tries for a quick 1-2. Big right hook. Right hook cross from Joe. 4 out of 4 punches and then a big right to the jaw. Johnson's down, unloading with punches. Johnson's getting destroyed. The referee has to step in. And ladies and gentlemen, a thing you've heard many, many times in the career. You're a winner by TKO. George Joe. He holds a perfect 16-for-16 finish record in his wins. And George Joe moves to 16-2 at just 26 years old. The future is still his, as long as he can figure out how to not get destroyed by Josh Barnett in the ground. But we don't have to talk about that. Tony Johnson drops to 5-4 in his career. Thanks for coming, pal. Here's a little bit of interesting news for you. George Joe has just come to the end of his Bellator contract. He's now entering the renegotiation period. One interesting thing about Joe, he never spent any time in either of the 2 major promotions, having spent most of his time in the European local scene before jumping to Bellator, where he went a very respectable 2-2, considering. So he's been approached by both UFC and Pride, as well as, I assume, Bellator is trying to renegotiate. We will have to see what his final destination ends up being. News time. Machado McGregor has been booked to face Rex Richards at UFC 126. Despite Rex Richards coming off a loss to Alex O'Reilly. Got mixed up there. 0-2 so far in his UFC career. Whereas 1-0 for Mr. McGregor. Probably a huge favorite in that one if I had to guess. It's on the undercard somewhere. You guys are all yelling at me because I'm blind. There it is. Machado McGregor 12th ranked in the UFC. Looks like already. Yeah, sure, whatever. Machado's a colossal favorite. Anyway, and George Joe has decided to extend his deal with Bellator, so sticking around a little longer. Must really, really hate Josh Barnett. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we are in Kanto for Pride 87, the 2013 Pride Heavyweight Grand Prix, featuring our very own Ron Francis Jr. He will have up to 3 fights tonight, but he'll fight till he loses, or he'll fight till he wins it all. Antonio Little Nog, Rogero de Lima, Noguera, jeez, these names are hard. He's lost a good bit around here. Lost to Rampage Jackson, Rob Broughton, Fabricio Verdum, but did beat Crow Cop. Go figure. Meanwhile, Ron Francis Jr. coming off 2 consecutive wins over Seth Petrozelli and Marcos Rogero de Lima, who he could face in the second round of this fight, tournament, by the way. Francis Jr. is the favorite here, with holding an 11-2 record, looking to boost that to 14-2 tonight. But first, he's got to get to 12-2. Let's get into it. 10 minutes in the very first round. Lil Nog versus Francis Jr. Francis Jr. going for the takedown attempt. Trying to push out the guard, maybe trying to pick a leg. Noguera keeps his guard together, though. Trying for that leg again. Noguera doesn't want to let the knee guard through. Francis Jr. just controlling it. Maybe a leg lock here. Nothing doing. Again, he's just really attempting that leg lock, but hey, whenever you can grab a leg, go for it. 5 submission attempts, I believe, so far. There, make it 6. Noguera hasn't fallen for any of them yet and stands the 2 fighters up, but Ron Francis Jr. absolutely dominated the first 3. Noguera lands 2 punches, though. 3, 4. Nice right hook from Francis Jr., though. Definitely no slouch on the feet. Noguera trying to get tired a bit and now gets taken down in a single leg. Francis Jr. trying to get free of the guard, but can't. Trying to loosen the guard to try to get that leg lock. Noguera, no. Can't get away through. A referee stands him up again. Francis Jr. going for another takedown. 3 for 3 on takedowns, going for that leg lock one more time, keeps the guard tight, and that's the end of round number 1. Ron Francis Jr., 3 for 3 on takedowns, 1 jab, 1 power punch, 14 ground strikes, 8 submission attempts, none of which have been successful, but absolutely controlling the fight so far. Round 2. Nothing coming of the striking so far. Ron Francis Jr. lands that left hand to the body. Nogueira lands the jab, kick to the leg from Ron Francis Jr. Minute and a half yet, nothing really doing. Nogueira definitely slowing, coming in closer though. Nogueira gets the initiative, lands 3 big punches, but Ron Francis Jr. dodges the killer shot. Nogueira definitely way more active this round, but he is getting gassed. Under a minute left in this round. 2 men in the center. Kick to the lead leg for Ron Francis Jr. Nogueira throws a flare but can't get it. Kick to the leg again. Round 2 ends. Let's check the stats before we get into the final round. 7 jabs to 5. 3 jab kicks. And fairly even. There's a bell for the start of the final round. Nogueira coming in closer. Tentative right hand for Ron Francis Jr. Can't do much. Nogueira is still definitely throwing those long punch combinations. Francis Jr. needs to take this back down to the ground if he wants to get it. Well, it's a big right hook there for him. Left cross for Francis Jr. Nogueira attacking. 4-punch flurry completely misses. He's gassed. Coming together to strike. Right hook ducked by Francis Jr. though. Stand in trade. 10 seconds. Nogueira lands a punch. Francis Jr. lands a right hook. Nogueira clinches, and that is the end of the fight. 6 jabs and a power punch to just 4 jabs that round. Here's your official decisions. I have no idea which way this is going to go. Personally, I'd score it for Francis Jr., but I'm a little biased. All 3 judges put Ron Francis Jr. down as the winner, so advancing to the semifinals of the 2013 Heavyweight Grand Prix, Ron Francis Jr. Congratulations, Ron. We'll see you at the next fight. Unfortunately, the game decided not to show us the other 2 fights because I didn't have him shortlisted. So I would have to, if I know there's a Grand Prix coming up, I don't know how it worked. Maybe I did have him shortlisted, sorry. I don't know how it worked like that, but unfortunately we did miss the other 2 fights, but Ron Francis Jr. went ahead and just won the whole thing by Kimura in the second fight, and Von Flue choked Marcos Rogelio de Lima in the finals. He is now riding a 5-fight winning streak, and I think should be in line for a Pride title shot. He's only lost 2 fights in his entire career. So, congratulations, Ron Francis Jr., the winner of the Pride 2013 Heavyweight Grand Prix, and my sincere apologies for not I don't know, setting up my settings correctly or something. I'll fix it next time. Alright, well, unfortunately, yeah, they're not on tape, but those fights are done. However, we do have this next fight on tape, and that's Brad Imes versus Earl Mo. We're at Strikeforce Lima versus Larson III. This is the second time these 2 fellas have faced off. The Hillbilly Heartthrob and Big Sexy Earl Mo. Hillbilly Heartthrob, a 13-5. Imes is lost. His first career loss was to Earl Mo way back in 2006. The 2 fellas facing off for the second time here. Earl Mo, a decent favorite. Well, not say colossal, but that doesn't mean anything. Wrestling versus Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Let's get it on. Earl Mo, hailing from Monkey's Eyebrow, Kentucky. Big Sexy himself coming to take down the Heartthrob. Mo coming forward to attack. Imes gets a jab in. Mo misses with the 1-2. Mo walking him down now, moving into the pocket. Throws 3 punches, but Imes doesn't have it. Nice straight right from Mo, though, and they continue striking. High rate of fire at this point in the game. Beauty of a straight right from Mo. Imes misses with the jab. Big right hand from Mo again. Moving forward, constantly throwing those strikes. Pressuring Imes, who managed to dodge here. Only halfway through the first round, and we've thrown more punches than most heavyweights fights combined. Right hook from Imes. Landing a left hand again. 1-2 from Mo doesn't land. Mo doesn't even have his hands up, thinking this is real easy. Moving forward, trying to pressure him into throwing strikes. Right cross lands hard from Mo, though. Every time nice straight right again. We're going to call it a 10-9 round for Mo, who just landed as many power punches as Imes landed jabs. So things are going very well for Mo so far. Not really taking a lot of damage. Looking confident as he talks to his team, which he doesn't have, so don't ask me. Maybe he just has his girlfriend with him. Mo fools him with a feint. Vicious right cross. Oh, he feints left, throws right. Imes is on the ground, pounding away. Manages to survive. Knee above the hip, though. I'm just squirming around. Mo is just kneeling him in the ribs repeatedly. That looks hurtful. Throwing a few strikes to slow things down. Maybe not gonna finish him here, but wrestling. The ref stands them both up, but his wrestling style, right hook again as soon as they get back on their feet. Absolutely piecing him up here. Throwing a striking exchange, moves into the pocket there, landing a big right hand again. Imes cannot escape Earl Mo. Big right hand again from Mo. Just throwing that overhand right. Imes does land a solid right hook to end the round, though. 3 power punches, 3 jabs, 18 ground strikes. Jab, 18 ground power strikes. Brad landed 2 total jabs that entire round. I think Mo took that round, says the idiot commentator. There's only one commentator, the Watcher series, and everyone knows that. All right, 5 minutes to separate themselves. Good right hook from Mo again. Nice straight right lands hard. Right cross lands hard. I don't even know why he's bothering throwing those setup jabs, considering he just lands every right hand he tries. Mo getting a little tired with 3 minutes left in the fight. Nice straight right again. I'd get tired too, wearing my hand out on Brad Imes' face. 6'7", though, 5 inches taller than Mo. Imes tries for the trip takedown. Mo grabs the cage, though, and gets a warning for that one. 60 seconds or so. Imes trying for it. Mo grabs the cage again. Oh, he gets deducted a point for that. Was it worth it? Imes trying to drop him. Can't get him down to the ground. Mo is stuck against the cage. Imes trying to take him down. Mo wrestles into the dominant position. Wrestling style. Grinds him up against the cage for the rest of the round. He looks exhausted, but he did this enough to survive the round. And probably won that one too, though it was a little closer. Remember, Earl did get deducted a point. So I don't think it was worth grabbing the cage there, but he'll have to decide that for himself. Here come the official scores. All 3 judges give a score of 29-27 for your winner by unanimous decision, Big Sexy Earl Mo. Congratulations to Mo, who moves on to a 12-3 record. Doing pretty well for himself in Strikeforce so far. Was the former Strikeforce champion. Lost to Bruno Guimas last time out, which probably stepped him back a bit in terms of title contention, but considering 4 straight wins, 5 of his last 6 fights have been wins, that's pretty good. Big Sexy doing his part to get himself back into title contention. Congratulations to him. News roundup again. Earl Mo coming to the end of his Strikeforce contract and entering the renegotiation period. Bellator also want to get their hands on their former Strikeforce champion. Ron Francis Jr. won a bunch of fights, as we know. All right, 2013 is over. It's the first day of 2014. Let's look at a few victories here. GSP Fighter of the Year. UFC Company of the Year. Fight of the Year, nobody we know. Female Fighter of the Year, Miesha Tate. Yair Rozenstruik takes KO of the Year. K1 Heroes has Show of the Year for K149. Let's see. None of our guys contributed to that one. Very sad. Submission of the Year, nope. Main Event of the Year. Dennis Kang versus Daniel Tabera. Never heard of him. Team of the Year, Takata Jojo. Upset of the Year. Worst Fight of the Year. Nobody we know. Nailed it. So, let's check our... UFC is planning a more rapid-fire schedule. Could be more fights for our guys there. Let's cap off the year by... What am I trying to do here? Looking at some of the rankings for our most common companies. So, heavyweight, George Joe, the number 2 in the company. Jack Duplessis, number 5. He's got a fight booked against Kenny Garner in January. Garner is... not even on here. Great. Well, anyway. So that's interesting to see. And the champion, of course, is Josh Barnett. Cage Rage and Cage Warriors, our guys are pretty far beyond that point now. K1 Heroes, though, we definitely have a few guys there. The 3rd ranked company in the world. Let's check the rankings. Bobby Braxton, of course, the champion. Didn't get into action on this one because of an injury. But apparently he's been... Oh, I missed this. There you go. Bobby Braxton's been booked in a rematch to face Heath Herring at K1 Heroes 54 in March. So Heath Herring trying to get back the belt he held for a very long time. Makes sense. Beat Kazuyuki Fujita to earn another chance to take back the top prize in K1 Heroes. So there you go. All right, Bobby Braxton at number 1. You look farther down the list. Grease Kunis at number 8. And, Francis Ngannou. That's pretty cool. Might get a chance to fight him later on. So there's our guys in K1 Heroes. If we go over to Pride, Pride rankings. Looks like Ron Francis Jr. has fought his way up to 6th with his heavyweight Grand Prix victory. And he's the only guy we've got there right now, it looks like. So, there you go. Oh, I'm sorry. Billy Willie is down in 10th now. Has a fight scheduled after dropping... Oh, yeah, he's fighting Fedor Emelianenko. Good luck. That'll be in our next episode, so... Boy, what a January we're going to have this month. Heading over to Strikeforce, we've got Ben Rothwell on top of the mountain, of course. Earl Mo and Bruno Guimard, 3rd and 4th, respectively. Looks like that's all we got. Bobby Lashley coming up in the rankings. Sure, why not? Well, he won the King of the Cage title. Anyway, Bobby Lashley's there. Tai Tuivasa's there. And, of course, the UFC, the big... top of the mountain, Cain Velasquez. Alex O'Reilly gets a second chance. No, Alex O'Reilly gets a first chance to take the UFC gold. His first title fight, unbelievably, ever. And he'll be facing Cain Velasquez in a rematch. That will be insane. And we got Machado McGregor down at 12th. Anderson down in 20th. So, our guys definitely filling out the rankings. But... that will be all for this episode. Thank you so much for joining me as always. I'll see you next time.